people, this is yet another 3-minute review, and this time I'm going to be talking about Promising Young Woman, starring Carey Mulligan and directed by Emerald Fennell, who previously was the showrunner of Killing Eve. That is definitely the vibe that this film gives off. I first watched the trailer last year and I was immediately excited. This film was better than the trailer, thankfully. It is a candy-coated revenge story, and I think watching the trailer it looks more of a horror vibe. It undermines those expectations in a really clever way. Like, it really doesn't give any information away without a fight. You just have to kind of trust and assume that things have happened that you won't know the full details of, and I think that's a really delicate, nice way of talking about trauma in film, that nothing is really for sure and that we don't have to show these events or exploit them to really talk about the effects that they have on people afterwards. The messy trauma of Cassie is quite kind of relatable and heartbreaking. I haven't had the traumatic time that she's had, no way, but I think everyone can relate just a little bit with her coping mechanisms, like wanting to get dressed up and go out and call people out at all times and want to get that revenge. And it's really cathartic, although the ending is not satisfying per se. Like, God, it was heartbreaking. There is some revenge there, and you would hope that some people would be kept accountable. It's called up in the film that Cassie isn't the one that these things happen to, but she is like vitally affected. To show that on screen, I think is a really powerful thing. There's a lot of conversation around victim blaming in this film, and some really uncomfortable scenes that you sit there in the audience and you're like, how the fuck can you say that? But it's all based in reality. So even though I said it wasn't a horror film, it definitely brings that horror of society feel. The kind of horror that Midsommar is, like an underlying, just growing sense of dread. I would say this film is kind of a mix of American Mary, Jennifer's Body, and Hustlers. If you liked any of those films, I really recommend going to see Promising Young Woman when it comes out in the cinema, or if you can watch it at home. The light's gone on, the camera's running out of battery, but what a nice guy. I think Promising Young Woman shows that you can still have fun with a really heavy topic, and you shouldn't let that stop you telling stories, whether that be of survivors or your own personal experience. Also, fuck toxic masculinity. I hope you have a really lovely day.